Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. So this lesson is about reharmonization. That means we're going to take an existing song and we're going to find new chords to play over the same melody. Now, that means that you're probably going to need to already know about chords and keys and probably intervals, and probably have already several songs that you can play well enough that they actually sound like the song. But even if you can't do that, you might pick up some interesting theory bits along the way. So feel free to join us. The goal, though, is not this song. It's not about the song that we're working on. It's really about taking the concepts you like, the reharmonizations, the substitutions that you like from this lesson, and then applying them to other songs that you already know how to play. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside, so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the
Okay, that's the beginning of something, but we're going to throw all that away and do this all hopefully somewhat linearly after I introduce to you the incomparable Kendra, running the chat rooms and the cameras and pretty much everything around here.
Except for the piano lesson. But guess what, Jamin? I'm kidding.
It's a minor benefit to the honestly.
Guess what, Jamin? I am very excited because I am currently taking a master class on the science of sleep. And it is so interesting and so good, and I'm learning so much, and I'm almost done with it. But yeah, it's very good.
You're staying up late to watch that?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Interested in everything. You're always learning something. Okay, so then let's go ahead and let me show you where we're starting, because we're like, this is the beginner version of this lesson. There's no such thing on the reharm lessons because we're starting out kind of like at the intermediate point of the last lesson, which was the tutorial on this thing, where we started to play the chords. So the beginning point of this is being able to play the regular chords, and then we can mess with them from there. So if after I play this, you're like, it doesn't make any sense, then you need to go back to the last lesson so you can learn how to play the chords on this thing. But I'll go ahead and play we'll just play it like straight through the way we were doing it last week, and then we'll start messing with it from there. So along with the track, it would be something like this.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year.
So that's where we're starting. I'm not going to show you how to do any of that this week. I showed you how to do all of that last week. So then, I think today, usually what we do is we go over to learnpianolive.com/reharm. We spin the wheel and we pick like whatever random thing comes up and we try to use that thing. But actually, that's funny that it says that by number chart, because the thing we're going to pay attention to today specifically is the number chart. So down here, we've got this massive thing that almost never gets used because it's like it shows up once in the wheel and then we do it really quickly. And this is this massive tool. So here's the concept behind this tool right here. No matter what your melody is, we just take that note right there out of the melody. That note right there could be whatever the chord is that's written for it. In this case, I think it's an E flat 7 sharp 11 is what we said last week. So the chords are the F to this one, E flat 7 sharp 11. However, it's not just an E flat that you could put in the bass with this melody. You could put in, well, I don't know. Kendra, help me out with this. If we have an A as our melody, what's another chord that we could have as a root for an A?
What chord for the root? Is that what you said, or what?
What could we have as a root?
You could have a C sharp.
Oh, goodness.
You could have an E.
What? I don't know what you're doing. Okay.
Oh.
Cool. I'm glad you're saying this.
Okay.
You're answering the opposite of the question that I intended to ask.
Oh.
But everybody else probably had the same confusion you did, or I said it wrong. So the question is not what are the other notes in an A chord. The question is, if A is the melody, what chords would A fit into?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. No, that's great. So that question right there is what we're going to be doing all day tonight.
Okay. You could use F major.
We could use an F. Okay, cool. So an F chord is an F and an A and a C. So definitely A fits nicely inside of the F. So we could just play Christmas time is here and just keep that F chord right down there. That would sound not terrible. Totally safe. Cool. What else would an A fit inside of?
I mean, you could do an A major, A minor chord.
You could do an A major chord because an A is in an A chord. Good call. Or an A minor chord because an A is also in an A chord. So A major or A minor. Let's try both of those. So I'm going to go from the F. Here's the A minor. Sure, that sounds weird, but that's kind of what we're doing here, is making weird sounds, this reharmonization thing. So it's not going to sound like the original. So if it sounds wrong, we're probably on the right track. So then that's the A minor. Here's the A major. Ooh, that's super weird. Can you give me the track along with that?
Yeah, of course. Christmas time is here.
Wow.
Happiness and cheer.
Wow, okay, yeah, cool. So that's fun. So that's that A major thing. What else? We've got an F chord that A could fit inside of. And if you're thinking, I already know what all these answers are, is this going to get difficult? Yes, I think I'm about to blow your mind. So then the A, major or minor. Go ahead. Kendra, what else?
You could do F sharp minor.
Oh, you're sneaky. Yes, it is the 3 of an F sharp minor. So if you wanted to, you could use an F sharp minor on that A when the melody gets down to there. Let's try that. So I'm going to play an F sharp minor instead of the E flat 7 sharp 11. Here we go.
Christmas time is here.
Ooh, yeah.
Happiness and cheer.
I like that a lot. It's got that like chromatic thing going on. Yeah, okay, cool. What else? Kendra's doing a great job so far. Hopefully you're getting some of these at home as well. So an F chord, we said, an F minor, F sharp minor, an A minor, and an A major. Anything else?
A D
Yeah,
or
good,
a D
good.
minor.
Nice. So here's our D chord, D, F, A. It's right there. Or a D, F sharp, A is that. So then I'll try both of those. I'll try the D minor first with that melody, and I'll try the D major. So here's all the options for Christmas time is here on here. Here we go. So first the D minor. Track.
Christmas time is here.
Okay, what about the D major? Ooh, yeah, cheer. Actually, I kind of like that. It's like the Christmas time is here. Keeps that like melancholy thing, and then happiness and cheer like turns into like this happy thing. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. So all of these are like different-ish sounds. We've talked about the chords where this is the 1 of the chord, 1 3 5, or 1 3 5. We've talked about the chords where this is the 5, 1 3 5, 1 3 5. We've talked about the chords where this is the 3, 1 3 5, or 1 3 5. Cool. And then Kendra, do you already know where I'm going with this?
I mean, I can think of more, but I mean, you could do like
Go
an
ahead.
E suspended.
E suspended. I like it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, cool. Let's try that with the track. So it's an E and an A and a B. Here we go.
Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer.
Super dark.
Fun
Yeah.
for all
Okay, cool. What else? Kendra.
You could do a B7.
A B7. Yeah, cool. So then, here's the principle, because we're starting to get into it, because a lot of people are starting to get lost now. Like, wait a second, that's not in a B7. Oh, wait, it's the 7. So this could act as the 1 of a chord. It could act as the 3 of the chord. It could act as the 5 of the chord. It could act as the 7 of a chord. It could act as the 9 of a chord. It could act as the 11 of a chord. It could act as the 13 of a chord. As it turns out, this melody note could work with literally any root. So this could work as an E flat chord, as we already played. Like that's the original, right? Then it could also act as a 5 in a D chord. It could act as a, ooh, I'm gonna like this one. It could act as a 5 in a D flat augmented major 7.
I don't think I would have thought of that one.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's super weird. Let me hear that one with the track.
Christmas time is here.
Yeah.
Happiness
Yes, I like that one a whole lot. Okay, cool. So this one works with literally any single root, and that's what this thing is doing right here. So with all due respect, if you would take your face off the screen, I think we're done there. And let's just take a look at this A. So if your melody note is an A, right there, then here are not all of the possible chords, but some of the most common chords that you could use. It will be the one of an A, and then there's an asterisk there. That's not a musical term. An asterisk just means you got a whole lot of options. A can be the one of an A major, an A minor, an A augmented, an A diminished. There's all kinds of A chords that you could have. It's pretty much anything you want because all of the A chords are going to have an A in them. So A, pretty much anything would totally work for this melody. Then it would be the flat 9. It would act as the flat 9 in an A flat 7 flat 9 chord. So A flat 7 flat 9 would be that thing right there. And a lot of these are going to sound absolutely horrendous out of context. And then the goal as the reharmonizer is to try to make these somehow fit. So we'll talk more about that in the intermediate and the advanced lessons. But the basic idea here is the A can have the root of an A. It can have the root of an A flat. It can have the root of a G. It can have the root of a G flat, and here's some more options for a G flat. It can have the root of an F. It could have the root of an E, like Kendra was saying, an E suspended, or an E11, or an E flat 13 sharp 11, which is the one we were playing originally, or an E flat major sharp 11, which we haven't played that one. That's kind of, yeah, wow, okay. I think, man. Can you play me the track for that?
Christmas time is here.
I almost like that better than the original. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So a 7 sharp 11, a major 7 sharp 11, an E flat diminished chord would also work there. Yeah, that would. So it works as a sharp 11 or the 5 in a diminished chord. It works as a E half diminished, an E flat half diminished, E flat 7 flat 5. So I think you're getting the idea here that all along here, no matter what your root is, the melody of an A does not indicate anything about what the root should be. And then we carry that across every single melody note of the entire song, and your options have just opened up a whole lot because here are at least 20 different options of a chord for every single melody note that you have in every single song. And yeah, now the world is your oyster, or the world's a terrifying place, or maybe those are the same thing. But that's how this chart is used right here. So my recommendation is, if that makes sense, and this is a new concept for you, that any root could be played with any melody note, and with enough massaging, you could kind of make it work. Then the goal is to jump in there and see which ones you absolutely hate and find out why. So, like this chord right here, that sounds super, super weird. I think that's going to be one that most people would hate the sound of. And so then we just try to figure out, what does that actually sound like? Because none of these chords are wrong. All of these, each of these just have their own color, and you don't have to like all the colors any more than you have to like all the flavors of all the different restaurants. But they're not bad flavors. They're just flavors that you don't like. So the only way to find out musically what your palate is the same way you find out foodily what your palate is, and that is get out there and try stuff and just accept, okay, there are a bunch of people that think this is really, really delicious. Let's try it out from that perspective and see if there's any way that I could possibly enjoy that sound. I like that a whole lot. There's a lot of colors inside of there. In fact, Kendra, if you would zoom out, I'm going to try some of that stuff, just trying to pay attention to whatever the melody note is and not according to what the key is. In fact, we were in the key of F. Ooh, yeah, let's just do that. Let's switch over to the key of C, because that's what I did in the, I think at the beginning. Part way through, I was realizing, wait, the melody is all white notes. The key of all white notes is C. So if the melody's all white notes, we should be able to play in the key of C and have it sound like not terrible. And as it turns out, that kind of worked. I think if you go like to the second half of the thing that I played at the intro, it was all in the key of C. And probably you had a feeling, I'm guessing, if you didn't know what I was doing, if you hadn't already reharmed this thing yourself, it's kind of like, yeah, like that's like a different, like a new perspective on the same melody. Like, I think they changed the melody around. They didn't change the melody around, but by changing keys and not changing melody notes, then you get a whole new perspective. So we start out on a 1 chord, and we got the 1 to the 4 thing going on. And at this point, really, we're talking about a lot of intermediate concepts and advanced concepts, which we kind of started out on anyway. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But before I jump into like key changes and some of the other stuff, hopefully this thing right here made some sense. If nothing else, you walked away with the concept that every melody note that you have could have every single bass note that's available. All 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, those are all options for this one. The melody doesn't dictate what your bass line is. Your creativity does. So that's the concept from today, even if you can't apply it. But if you want to try to apply it on other songs that are not this, they're your own thing, just one note. Pick preferably a landing note. So even if it's like Jingle Bells, it's a Christmas time, so we'll do Christmas songs. Like, I would recommend not trying to reharm some note in the middle of that phrase, but take some landing note and go, okay, so I'm going to maybe try an A in the bass, or jingle all the way, 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 jingle all the way, jingle all the way, jingle. So this note right here, the ending note right there, could have pretty much any bass note. Go try out those colors, or if it almost makes sense but it doesn't quite, then let me know and I'd be happy to work one-on-one with you on whatever songs you're wanting to work on. But for right now, I say we go to the intermediate level of this thing and see what we can.
What about the feature of the day?
We can do the feature
thing.
Okay. Actually, it's kind of important this week. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
It's time for the feature of the day.
That's right. And today's question of the day is, what's your favorite lesson, workshop, or YouTube video outside of Learn Piano Live?
Yes, obviously this is all the best content that there possibly is in the world.
Of course.
Outside of this site, what are some other cool workshops that you've attended, watched, all that stuff? I know a lot of you guys are big fans of the Rick Beato guy and also Adam Neely, and especially the second one is one of my favorites at this point too. But what else have you seen out there that you really like, or that you almost like but didn't quite make sense? You'd like us to incorporate some of those concepts in one of these lessons here. That's always an option for us, just one-on-one, but also to add into any of our lessons here. We're on, goodness, what is this, lesson 700 something. Ridiculous, but we haven't covered it all yet. So let's go to the intermediate version of this, and we'll cover your stuff also. Let's go. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out, and if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.